And we are live. Today I was like thinking a lot. I love thinking. I don't think that many humans who actually love thinking. I love being by myself and just thinking. I just sit and think without like doing anything else. And that is why I trust myself. I trust myself because I think a lot. I overthink. People will tell me that you overthink. If you think that I overthink, it means that you do not think um, as deeply as I think. So I must trust myself more. Hello from Texas. Hey, they Kego Haslo. First time seeing you. First time seeing you. Like I always like recognize the names of the people who join my life. So I know it's my first time seeing you. Yeah, but as I was saying, people say that I overthink, and I don't think that many people overthink. So I trust myself more because that means that I think more than them. If you feel like someone overthinks, you're basically saying they think more than you, right? Like it means their ability to think is much deeper than your ability to think. So it's logical to trust them more. So I'm that kind of a person who likes to just think. Hello from Sweden, Francis. Francis, always have seen you. Thanks for joining the live. Chris Jones, first time seeing you. I like your unique take on topics. Thanks. So when I was thinking today, I asked myself, why is it so like why do I find it so important to talk about what I really think? Because it seems like a lot of people are not doing that, right? They're not talking about how they view the world. If they see that something is wrong, they don't really care. They're just trying to survive. People are trying to survive. They're trying to do what they've been programmed to do. So, all right, because disconnected a little bit. All right. So yeah, I was asking myself, why am I so concerned about what the truth really is, while a lot of people around me ain't really concerned? And why do I want to talk to people about what I really think is going on? And I've realized that the real reason why I always want to talk to people about what I think is really going on is always been to find like minded people. It is never about convincing other people that they are wrong, because people are not the same. Some people are really that ignorant, and you can't really change how they view things, no matter how hard you try. Um, I have my own theories about why some people do not see things as they are, but I've realized that it's impossible to make some people see what you see. Maybe life will show them the truth, maybe life will reveal the truth to them. But the real reason why I make videos is not really to change other people's minds. There's always been to find like-minded people, to make them feel less alone, and to feel less alone, right? Me making videos is my way of saying to like-minded people that you're not alone. you know and as we communicate, I also realize that I'm not alone, because it seems like there are very few people in the world who really see deeper truth. You think that the people who do not agree with you do not agree with you because uh they are doing the right things in the world, right? Maybe they're more capable than you are. They're succeeding. They don't even care about what's going on because they're succeeding. Things are working out for them. But that's not really the case. Some people just don't see what is going on. Or let me put it this way, they don't see what's going on at the level that you are able to see what is actually going on. Like there's the difference between you and them. So when you really see what is going on and other people are not seeing what's going on, that will make you feel alone, right? Because you will try to talk to them, be like, okay, here's how I see reality. um why is everyone so ignorant? Why is everyone not able to see what I see? Like you feel alone. Like you literally go through hell when you view reality a certain way and other people are saying, no, that's not how we view reality. We view reality this way. And they make you feel like there's something wrong with you. They make you feel like you're crazy. I know what that feels like. So the idea has always been to connect with like-minded people, to say, hey, you're not alone. Like honestly, you're not alone. It's just that we live in a world where we've been programmed to not see things as they really are. Like when you try to talk about what is really, really, really going on, there's always going to be like always going to be like a pushback, right? They'll People will gaslight you. They'll make you believe that you just have issues, or you just seeing things, or you're just too negative. Well, that is not even the case. Well, the truth is that no, actually, there are a lot of things that are going on in the world that we are not talking about. There's this big elephant in the room that we are not talking about. You are seeing this big elephant and everyone else is not seeing it. So of course you're going to feel alone, right? So the idea is to connect with like-minded people, to tell you that, hey, you're not alone. I've always been like this. And I used to think I was alone in the beginning. And I used to think maybe there might be something wrong with me because I'm able to see things that other people do not see, and I'm convinced that I'm right. But what if I'm not? And I kept on working on myself, trying to re-verify the things that I understand, and I realized that no, I'm right. And it's scary. It's scary that you understand things that other people really do not understand. You see things that other people really do not see, or at the level that they are not able to, like, see things. That you understand things at a level that people don't really understand things. Like that is really scary. It is actually scary that it's hard to find like-minded people. It's actually scary that it's hard to find like-minded people. But once you find like-minded people, you realize that, oh, they think exactly how I think. And they are so right, and there's so much that I can learn from them. I love learning. I love gaining new insights. um I want to understand what is really going on. I think it is important that we understand what is really going on. You can't tell me that it makes sense that we are in a world that we do not understand and we're not trying to understand it. Hey, that's crazy. You are in a world that you really don't understand and you're not trying to understand it. You just waking up in the morning and going to work, um, you know, doing what your boss say you must do, argue with your colleagues, go back home tired, argue with your wife, argue with your husband, go to sleep, wake up in the morning the next day, and and you call that life. Like, oh, I'm here in this world, I don't understand it, here's what I must be doing. It doesn't make sense. It makes more sense to be asking questions, to be asking ourselves, really, does it make sense that this is what life really is? People waking up in the morning and going to work. Like, we've been trained to be like that. They've trained us to be that way since we were little. They've trained us to accept that since we were little. Does that really make sense? And they've trained us to not ask questions. Don't ask any questions. You should be okay with everything. Don't don't ask questions. If you ask questions, you have issues. Doesn't that make you suspicious? If you ask questions, you have issues. So you must pretend as if what is going on actually makes sense to you, even if it doesn't make sense. It's really scary that we live in a world like this, and speaking the truth about what is going on is um is considered to be wrong. Like, there's like stigma associated with like speaking any truth. Like, you're not really supposed to say, hey, this is what is going on. This reminds me of this other video that I've seen of this American gospels artist that got angry at a pastor a few years back, and she went live on Facebook and started talking about what was going on at a church, talking about a pastor, talking about how unfair it is that people who are poor giving money to their pastor while they have nothing, and their pastor is actually living in luxury, right? Like, that is unfair. It doesn't really care about them. It's not really helping them. It's praying for them, but does that really help them? Why does he need the money? Why doesn't he just need prayer and that's it? Why does he need the money, and his followers are broke and they have nothing? She was so mad. She was so damn mad. And people were saying, "Oh, she has mental issues. Hey, it's drugs, it's alcohol." Like, no, it's not. She's speaking the truth. Like, she's telling you what is actually going on. People will say that you're normal when you lie. But like, hey, everything is good. I love my pastor. He's a true man of God. He knows what he's doing. You see, we are not supposed to speak the truth about anything. If you try to speak the truth about work, you have issues. You try to speak truth about school, you have issues. You try to speak the truth about religion, you have issues. You know, speak the truth about poverty, war, like, you have issues. That's what they'll make you believe. They'll gaslight you. So I know what it's like to be made to feel like there is something wrong with you because you are conscious and you care about what is actually going on. I know what that is like. So there's this part of me that wants to connect with like-minded people, and there's this part of me that wants to also help the people who are new to this, because um once you start to see things as they really are, obviously you're gonna feel alone. Obviously you're gonna feel alone. So imagine feeling alone, and you search online and you don't find anyone talking about what you think. Like, that really does make you feel alone. Like, that really does make you feel alone, and no one wants to feel alone. You see, no one wants to feel alone. Things that other people do not understand, no matter how right you are. No matter how right you are, and if you are outnumbered, it's gonna feel like you are the problem. You are what's wrong. You see, the cargo hustler. Why do we suffer here on earth? Um, I believe that we suffer because there is something that actually wants us to suffer. If we weren't actually put here to suffer, we wouldn't suffer at all. Because no one wants to suffer. There isn't a sentient being that actually wants to suffer. You might think, oh, why do some people hate themselves then? Because some people when they're depressed they hate themselves. But like, why do they hate themselves if no one wants to suffer? They hate themselves because they're actually trying to escape their own suffering. Like they've suffered so much that they're angry, and also they want to feel a different kind of pain. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm so hurt that I want to focus on another pain because this is too bad. Like, no one wants to suffer in this world, but we suffer, and we suffer every day. And suffering is so damn common that it's normalized. Like, it's normal. You know what I mean? Like, when we see people suffering, we think that is normal. We don't even feel anything anymore. Like, we don't like you see a person who's truly suffering and you feel nothing. Like, it's normal because that's how things work in this realm. Suffering is not a bug, it's a feature in this realm, and we're used to seeing people suffering. So, we don't really say anything. I believe that we suffer because something want us to suffer. If we weren't supposed to suffer, we wouldn't even be able to suffer. You see, but we do suffer, man. And it's crazy because we suffer in so many different ways. We suffer in so many different ways. You see, we live in a world where if we don't do certain things, we suffer. If we do certain things, we suffer. Like, we're trapped in this human suit that has needs, and you have to make sure that you satisfy its needs, right? If you don't, it's going to make you suffer, and that should actually make you suspicious. That's like being in a car, right? That's like being in a car, and that car, you know start telling you that it wants you to do certain things, and if you don't do these things, you must suffer. Like, it tortures you, like, oh, uh I need petrol right now. Or you don't want to um you don't want to refill the tank. Fine, I'm going to make you suffer. That's kind of like how it is. Your own body makes you suffer. You get thirsty, you suffer. You get hungry, you suffer. You feel alone, you suffer. So it will be like your car telling you what it wants. It'll be like, oh, right now I want to be with other cars. And if other cars don't want to be around it, you suffer. Like, it makes you suffer, right? Like, you suffer if you want to be around other people and they don't want to be with you. So you have to find a way to connect with people, even though it's hard. Like, that, all that should make us suspicious, because we do things because we're trying to escape suffering. We don't do things because we want to do these things. People in general don't really want to do much other than having fun, but we find ourselves doing things because we're trying to avoid suffering. People wake up in the morning and go to work because they're trying to avoid suffering. um, Parents send children to school because they believe that they will be able to escape future suffering, right? Like, okay, if they go to school and um, become educated, they're gonna have good jobs, so they're gonna suffer less. But really, it's all a trap, because no one can really escape suffering. It doesn't matter how hard you work. I know people who work very hard, but they're still suffering. I know people who work 24/7 who are still suffering. There's no escaping suffering. So you can see that suffering is not a bug. Like, you can't avoid suffering. Something wants us to suffer, and it wants us to do certain things. If we don't do these things, it makes us suffer. That is why there are people in the world who end up doing like horrible things. You think these people are just evil. What you don't realize is that they're suffering, and something is telling them that they must do these horrible things so that they will feel better. right? So they suffer, and then something tells them that, hey, go and do something that is horrible, and you're gonna feel better. And then they go and do this horrible thing, and then still they don't feel better. They realize that it was a trap. Roslyn Mitchell, hello, baby M. It always speaks of us being in the room. You are speaking of study of metaphysics. Are you familiar with Bobby Hemmett? I'm sure you are. No, I'm not. I'll try to remember the name and study his work. I'm not familiar with his work. Gajo MD. Hello. We were talking several times last year. The French guy. Uh, Thank you for this discussion. No, I didn't forget you, man. And thanks for still being here, man. Thanks for still being here. I didn't forget you. I remember the conversations that we've had. And that's the thing. Like I love like having conversations with like-minded people. I love. Follow me on Instagram. It's Benedictines, the vegan on Instagram. I love having deep conversations with like-minded people. Roseline Mitchell, hello from Dallas, Texas, in the United States. Where are you at? We all love Bobby Hemmett speaks of helium on YouTube. Um, Now I'll check his work. I'll check his work. Chris Jones. Well, another person that knows of Baby Him. I have to know this guy, because I don't know him, and it seems like you know, he's onto something. Champ, I didn't know you live stream. No, I do that. Um, I want to do that like almost every week actually. I recently stumbled across your channel, and I agree with a lot of your concepts. Yeah, exactly. That's what I like. Like the idea is to find like-minded people than convincing other people who don't see things the way that I see things to see things the way that I see things. Because I realize that people are not operating at the same level of consciousness. Like that is the truth. Some people can't understand what I'm saying, and you think, these people are just evil or they're just too ignorant, but we're just not operating at the same level of consciousness. So the idea is to find like people who are capable of understanding me, and the people that I'm capable of understanding, build a real community, and where we can talk and connect, because it sucks living in a world where everyone else doesn't understand you. Like that really does make you feel alone. I do believe that there are many people who have exited because they felt alone. They were like, "Hey, am I the only person who see things this way? Like, no, there isn't any other person who see things the way that I see things, and I think that I'm right because this really does make sense. And I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to pretend as if the way that other people view things actually makes sense to me. If I'm the only person who see things the way that I see things, then I'm tired. You know, I'm tired because it means there's something really wrong with this realm. So I mean, there is something really wrong with this realm, but it really does suck if you feel like you're the only person who sees the truth, right? So being able to connect really does help. I'm 100% sure that uh, they have been people who wanted to exit, but because they have found this community, they were like, hey, you know what, I'm gonna stick around a little longer because people make sense in this community. So that's the thing, that's the idea, is to find like-minded people, because we're not the same, and stop assuming that other people are like you. No, they're not. There's the reason why they don't really understand what you understand, and there's the reason why they'll disagree with you even when you're saying things that make complete sense. The said reality called life. Ignorance and delusions is the biggest downfall in this realm. True, true. There's no way you can make the right decision if you are ignorant, if you are delusional. There's no way. You see, you're going to do things that work against you, or do things that uh, make things harder for other people. Like, you won't be able to come up with solutions. Actually, you're going to create problems because of your delusions. So when someone comes with a problem, say, hey, I have this problem. Because you're delusional, you come up with solutions that don't really help. That's like if you were very religious, and someone very close to you got sick. Let's say you believe in Christianity. Someone very close to you got sick. And you're like, you tell them that they're not supposed to go to a hospital because Jesus is going to save them. You pray for them, you pray for them, you pray for them. And they start to believe that, hey, Jesus is going to save me. And they start to feel better because um if you really believe something, that will actually do something to your body. Like, if you are sick and you believe that you're healed, that will kind of like do something to your body. But if you're suffering from a real disease, then that's not going to be enough. So you're gonna feel better for a while, but like, hey, it means this Jesus is like real and he's working, and then boom, you know, realize that prayer didn't work, but then it's now too late. There's nothing that can be done. Like, religion is another trap, but not just religion. There are too many traps in this world, that people fall into. What we really need is the truth. Even if the truth makes us feel uncomfortable, but you know there's nothing else to do than to try to figure out what is the truth is, so that when we try to do the things that we really want to do, these things must be in alignment with the truth. We mustn't create our own delusions and then start doing what it's in alignment with these delusions, right? What happens is that, and people end up living in their own bubbles, like in their own realities, and end up not agreeing, and that it makes us disconnected, actually. So we need to see the truth. You see, if everyone saw the truth in this world now, we will actually be connected. It's the truth that will actually connect us, not these delusions. If each and every person has their delusions, can you imagine now, if each and every person in the world was living in their own world, what would happen? I mean, you are here watching this live because you understand what I'm saying, so that makes us connect, right? So can you imagine if we really focus on the truth, everyone in the world really focus on the truth, that will actually make us connect. Bill R say, until your soul finds its path and be at peace, you will stay on this. Um, I don't know what Bill R is trying to say, but people automatically assume that if you think that there's something wrong with the world, if you think that uh, things ain't working in the world, they automatically assume that you must be doing something wrong when you're not on the right path. They believe that if, like, you being happy is a sign that you're on the right path, right? And that's the problem. People are seeking for comfort, not truth. They believe that the truth is going to give them comfort, so they seek for comfort. So when they find comfort, like, yeah, yeah, it means I found the truth, I found peace. What if the truth is that you are in a very messed up world? What if that is the actual truth? Are you supposed to find peace after realizing that no, 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 I'm really in a messed up world? How do you find peace knowing that you are really in a messed up world? These enlightened teachers will be telling you that you're going to find peace once you become enlightened. Like, no, that's not how it works. It depends on where you are. You see, like I keep on telling you guys that we're not in a world that seem bad that is actually good, right? Because if we're in a world that seem bad that's actually good, when you reach enlightenment, you'd find peace. But we're in a world that seem good, but that is actually bad. So in the beginning, you're going to think, hey, everything is good until you wake up and you're like, oh, I was wrong. Like, this world is really messed up. You see? So, you know, becoming enlightened doesn't really mean that you go to find peace. No, no, no. I mean, yes, in the end, the truth will set you free because um, if you believe that you are in a world that is actually good and it's not good, you're never going to find peace. It's like if you were in a relationship with a person who didn't care about you, but you thought that they cared about you. How are you going to find peace? Because when there's a problem in a relationship, you think, hey, maybe I'm not just doing things wrong. Maybe it's because of what I said something wrong, that is why this person is behaving this way. You busy telling yourself lies. But if you know that, hey, this person just doesn't love me, no matter what I do, this person would still be toxic, this person still wouldn't care about me, you realize that maybe you just need to separate yourself from this person, because what can you do? You see, so it's the truth that will actually set you free. Big Daddy Jim. This world is definitely hell. It's horrible. There is no true happiness. I I I haven't found a person in this world who's truly happy. To be honest with you, there are people who I thought were happy before I got to know them, and I realized that, oh, they're going through the same things that other people are going through, and they're trying to avoid suffering, just like everyone else is trying to avoid suffering. So he's right when he says there is no true happiness. We're busy trying to like uh, achieve new goals because we're trying to like feel happy, but that doesn't last. You're gonna feel happy for a while. You get a new job, you feel happy for a while, but you know you go back to feeling the way that you've always felt, and you're like, hey, I need to get a new position now. Get a new position. uh After a while, you feel the way that you've always been feeling. You think, hey, I need to get married. You get married and realize that, oh, I still feel the way that I used to feel. And you start to blame your partner. uh I'm not happy, I'm not happy. You're not happy because you weren't really supposed to be, so it's not their fault that you're not happy. you you're just not really supposed to be. You see, I'm coming back in a while. I'm coming back in a while. Just like this live, and yeah, I'm coming back. I'm coming back. Okay, Bill R. It doesn't really matter what happens during a lifetime. What matters is to find your soul purpose to exit this realm upon death. Mm, yeah, I agree with you. I actually agree with you because everything that we've been taught these things so that we'll remain distracted, so that we never realize that there's something off with this place, right? So we're supposed to be distracted 24/7. We're supposed to be distracted with nonsense, like things that really do not matter. Instead of asking ourselves the right questions, instead of asking ourselves, what is this and what am I really supposed to be doing? Because really think about it, what is it that people are actually doing that is really important that you can say, uh, uh, like really makes sense, like it can actually be the purpose of life? People like to convince themselves that there are some things that they're doing that are more important than the other things that people are doing. But when you really think about it, it's just the things that society has told them that is important, right? Well, it's not really important. So, what is really important is figuring out what this is and how to truly free yourself. So that even if you like it here, but you also know how do I free myself? I shouldn't just be here not knowing how to free myself and just do what I'm told, you know. So I need to know how I can free myself if I ever want to free myself. Chris Jones. One of the original names of Earth is Hail, and the people were called Halix and Mystics. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. The man, salute Benedictine. Thanks. Frederick Olosson. What's up, bro? Hater Maytun. Hey, your first time live with you all. New to your channel. I can relate to everything you say. Thank you for spreading the truth. Thank you all. Thank you all. That's the aim. The aim is to connect with like-minded people. You know, the truth is that when you feel alone, you feel weak, right? But when you know that no, you're not really alone, you feel stronger. So that's why I always want to connect with like-minded people. Frederick from Sweden, I love your channel. Thanks. Trying ferret greetings from the first cycle of hell. I think it's the first cycle. Val has views. I've always known and felt I don't belong here. Why do you think that when people become conscious, they feel like they don't belong here? Why do you think that people who are more conscious than others feel like they don't belong here? Why do you think that people who are called overthinkers feel like they do not belong here? Like once a person start thinking deeply, they start to isolate themselves, like they naturally isolate themselves. They find it hard to connect with a lot of people. They find it hard to like do the normal things that other people do. Why? Isn't it because really there's something that is off with this place? And once we become conscious, we become more connected to our true essence, and we realize that no, something is off. I mean, if you were in jail and you didn't know that you're in jail, the more conscious you become, the more you realize that you're in jail, right? The more you realize that no, something is off. So it makes sense that when people become conscious, they realize that something is off. Frederick, I agree. We're put here to suffer. True, Ravel, uh, they see it, but in denial. Mm, I don't know, man. Some people are really that ignorant, but I think some people, yes, they are in denial, but I think some people are just that ignorant. Like we're just not the same. We have this this belief that like human beings are the same and they're operating at the same level of understanding, but we're not. You know, it's like if you were trying to like communicate with a chicken and you assume that it was capable of understanding you because it has a brain, you know, but it's living in a different reality. It's not capable of understanding you. So you, even human beings, we are so damn different. We're so damn different. So yes, there are people who are in denial. There are people who have just never truly suffered, like they've been privileged, right? So they assume that the way that they feel about life is how everyone should feel about life. They don't realize how privileged they are. You see, like once you start getting the things that you want and feel a little better, you start to think that's everyone should feel this way. And if a person doesn't feel this way, it means that they're doing something wrong. You see, so those are the kind of people who are in denial. But there are people who are just not conscious. Spec streaming, salute. Thanks for the thought provoking content. Always thought I was the old man out everywhere. Exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That the idea is to, connect with like-minded people, you know, have deep conversations with them and always grow, because I love having conversations with people about what I really, really think. We don't live in a world where that's normal. We don't live in a world where like talking about consciousness, talking about um what we might really be doing here, what this place might be is normal. And that should make us suspicious. Like, why isn't that they're not teaching us at school to like really question what is actually going on? Like that should actually make you suspicious. Think about it. So we're in a world that we don't understand and they don't teach us at school what's actually going on, or they don't actually ask us what we think is going on, you know. Like that should actually make us suspicious. They just tell us what we need to do, what we need to study, train us to actually become slaves in the end, and that's it. Like, no, we need to know what this is, because um it could really be a trap. We don't know for sure what it is. So even if it seems like it's not a trap, or they make us believe that it's not a trap because they be brainwashing us over and over again, but still it's still a possibility. So we do it will if really we were living in a good world, we would be encouraged to ask the right questions other than just going with the flow and just accepting everything that we're being told and growing up believing everything that we're being told. And when we start asking questions that we weren't allowed to ask, they make us look like we're bad, right? Like we're bad people for asking questions that we weren't asking, because they didn't want us to ask these questions in the first place. Big data, there's too many distractions for people to see what we see. True, true. I mean, think about it. If you have kids and your kids are struggling at school, do you really have time to think about what this place might actually be? If you're busy trying to prepare for your exam, do you really have time to think about what might actually be going on? You're trying to get a higher position at work. Do you really have time? You're trying to like make your relationship work. Do you really have time to figure out what's really, really going on? You sick. You have an illness. Like we always have problems. And we have to think about these problems, right? But not just that, there are also things that we do for fun that keep us distracted. So we're so distracted that we never really get to think about what we actually need to be thinking about. No, the conversations that people have must, you know, include like deep philosophical questions about, the nature of reality. Like that's what that's what will be normal in a world that people do not understand. Just like I told you guys that if you got kidnapped and put in a place uh, that you do not understand, you don't really know, where the place is, you don't really know why you were put there in the first place. You need to be asking yourself, what's going on? Why am I here? You don't just start doing the things that you're told to do without this question at the back of your mind. Like, yeah, what am I really doing here? How do I even free myself? So people being so brainwashed that they don't even ask these kind of questions. They just go on with their lives as if that is actually normal. It's not normal. You are really in a world that you do not understand. This world really could be anything. Understand? Like, this world really could be anything because it has never been proven to be something. Like, like there isn't anything. Like, we don't know for sure what it is. Let me put it that way. That's why people have different beliefs about what's really going on. So really, we must all want to actually talk about what is going on, other than being too damn distracted. So distracted that when you try to have a conversation with other people about what is actually going on, they think you're crazy. That should tell you something. That should make you realize that there's nothing wrong with you. It's like people are under hypnosis or something. Like, they've brainwashed us so much that we don't think right as humans. Try and vary it. At the end, no money but suffering is the universal currency. The price of existence is always very high. Like, you can't, like, suffering is guaranteed, right? If there's something that is guaranteed, is suffering. If you want to suffer right now, you can make yourself suffer. But if you wanted to be happy right now, would you really be able to make yourself happy right now? You understand how easy it is to make yourself suffer and how hard it is to make yourself happy. Like, if you wanted to be miserable right now, you would actually make yourself miserable. Like, it's easy. It's easy. But to really make yourself happy, that is hard. Like, it requires a lot of work. And we live in a world where, because they know that everyone wants to be happy, everything is monetized, right? It's like you must work very hard so that you'll get the things that actually make you happy. Like, these things are not easy to get. Like, oh, this is what human beings want, so we must make sure that it's hard for them to get these things, so that they'll work, they will do what we want them to do, so that we'll give them access to these things that they really want. Because that's really what's going on here. We must work very hard, allow ourselves to be programmed, to be brainwashed. Sell our souls, actually. I love when people talk about artists, who have sold, though they believe have sold their souls. Like, but you also have sold your soul. I mean, think about it. You're working a shitty job. You don't even like your boss. You don't even like what you do at work, but you're waking up every day in the morning and going to work. So everyone has sold their souls. It's not just these artists that you're talking about. Everyone has sold their souls. You know, um, People are doing what they do not want in order to get some of the things that they want, and they don't get in they don't get enough, right, for what they actually want. It's kind of like you're given a taste of what you want, so you work very hard just to get a taste of what you want, so that you keep on working. You see, because if they gave you what you really wanted, you'd stop working. You'd be like, I'm comfortable now, I'm good, I have what I want, so why should I work? But if they just give you a taste of what you want, you're like, hey, I gotta keep on working, so that I will feel the way that I felt when they gave me a taste of what I actually wanted. You see. What up? Hi there, buddy. It's, I've always seen you here, man. I've always seen you here. Bill R. This is because people have been programmed since uh they were kids. True, true. Spec streaming. Best thing I can do is not create any more beings to suffer. 100%. 100%. We've been programmed to want to create new people. They've programmed us to want to create new people since we're young. That's what's normal. If you feel like you don't want to create a new person, they feel like something is wrong with you. They'll try to gaslight you in so many different ways. That sometimes they'll tell you that you're gonna change your mind when you get older. Sometimes they'll tell you that no one is gonna take care of you when you're older. It's like they're trying to make you do what they're doing. Is it Here's the thing, and this is very important to understand. There are many parents out there who actually regret having children, but it is taboo to say that you regret having children. I mean, if I had children, I wouldn't. It would be hard for me to say I regret having children. Can you imagine? Like it would kind of like make me look like a horrible person, right? Like it would be hard for me to tell my kids that I actually regret, bringing you into this realm. Like it wouldn't be easy. So people are just most parents are just pretending as if they believe that they've made the right decision. But really, the best thing that you can do is to just not create more people. You should just decide to just stop stop this nonsense. Actually, like just stop this nonsense by not creating more people. Like you not creating more people is like your way of saying f you to this reality, basically. Hi guys. I've always seen you in my live streams. Thanks. Potato feels forever. You're supposed to keep quiet. Yeah, they want you to keep quiet. 100%. V says they had a hellish week. What happened? What happened? I gotta get money in order to pay my new landlord. Lord, man, it sucks that it's not easy to make money. Like it's getting harder and harder to make money, uh, and that's because there's too many people. Like a lot of people are not needed anymore. Because here's the thing: if we lived in a perfect world, we'll actually be needed, right? Like you wouldn't walk around looking for a job. There will always be positions. You just be choosing the kind of job that you want, so you didn't struggle to pay your bills. But it's really hard to find a job. I know people who have been struggling to find a job for years. People who are really educated, and now they're forced to work shitty jobs. They're forced to just work to just survive. Like that's it. You just working so that you'll survive. Just like slaves. Slaves were actually working to survive. So that has been normalized now. Like it is okay for people to wake up in the morning. You wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning, you go to work so that you'll be able to pay your bills. That's it. There'll still be some things that you actually need to afford that you won't be able to afford. Like that should tell you something. There's too many people and they don't know what they actually need to be doing. In South Africa, this is what's crazy. In South Africa, more than 60% of young people are unemployed, and a lot of young people are educated. That should tell you something. That should tell you something. Big Daddy. People think I'm crazy for not believing you shouldn't have children. That's why it's important to connect with like-minded people. They'll make you feel like you're crazy for thinking rationally. Because a lot of people do not think that's the thing. Is it? I don't think there are overthinkers in this world. I think there's just people who do not think, so they think that the people who think are overthinkers. You see, like there are no real overthinkers. They're just people who do not think and who believe that people who think are overthinkers. Blush. It's my first time seeing you here. Spider-Man 6. Hopefully reincarnation and afterlife is ain't true. I only want non-existence after this. Yeah, I genuinely hope that non-existence is actually possible. Um, if I'm right about consciousness being fundamental, then this is in the real world. Like this is in the real world. This is more like a dream, right? But it's not a dream that we were willing to have. It's like there's these beings that have hijacked our mind and make us hallucinate this reality, and there is something that they're gaining from us, hallucinating this nonsense. That is why, like, even like your dreams suck. Like, why would you even have a nightmare? You would have a nightmare because there's these beings that actually want you to have this nightmare so that they'll get what they want. I do not know if it's entertainment or if, yeah, if they're just trying to get your energy through, like, trying to get like attention from you actually. Because if you're in a dream and there's nothing weird that's going on, you might not pay that much attention. But if you're in a dream and you see something scary, of course you're going to pay attention. That is why you don't remember most of your dreams. You don't remember most of your dreams because nothing interesting is going on, right? Nothing is scary is going on. Nothing that like gets your energy is actually going on. So you don't really remember your dreams. You just have like regular dreams where you're just chilling, watching Benedictine's life, But if I turned into a reptilian now and you were in a dream, you wake up and actually remember that. You see, so I think that's the reason why things suck in the world. It's like there's these beings that actually want our attention, and they're trying to make us suffer so that they will get our attention because we don't focus when we're not suffering. Like there are a lot of things that are happening around you that you're not even focusing on because it's just normal things that are happening around you. But if something weird happened, you'd focus, right? And that's how these beings get your energy. But I do hope that uh this is the end, but I don't think it is. I think this is not the real reality. V Spider-Man, check out Forever Conscious Research channel. Yeah, guys, conscious Forever Conscious Research, like that's a very interesting channel. Like I love watching the videos. It's like the guy just like reacts to people's NDs, right? Like near death experiences. It's a very, very interesting channel, very unique, Yeah, I totally recommend that channel. I totally recommend that channel. Ravo, signing off, bro. Nice channel. I've been with you since the Benedictine the Vegan. No, thanks, man. Thanks, because I've changed the name like 6 months ago, right? Benedictine the Vegan to Benedictine the Truth. So if you still remember that, it means you've been here since the beginning. Games dog. What were the books you read and or people you listened to who confirmed to you your thoughts are reality? I don't really read books, to be honest. I don't really read books. But think I'm trying to think of some of the first videos that I've watched on the topics that I usually talk about. Um, on antinatalism, there was in Mendham, right? Like when I discovered this channel, I was like, yeah, that he's right. Forever Wolf Films, the channel was deleted by YouTube, but not for what she would normally talk about. It was just for something she posted years ago that they believe that it's against the guidelines. Um, like the thing is, I don't like when I'm on YouTube. I only like watch videos that um like about topics that I'm interested in without really, how do I put this? Um like here's the thing, I love thinking, right? Like I'm a person who really really love thinking. So I look for channels that actually help me think much more deeply than to kind of like learn to like learn from them. Basically, like I when I'm on YouTube, I usually just play videos, or like maybe someone talking about consciousness, someone talking about antinatalism, someone talking about the afterlife while I sleep, right? So it's not easy for me to remember like which channel that I've watched that spoke about this, the which channel that I've watched that spoke about that. So that's the thing, and I'm trying my best to kind of like remember the channels so that I'll recommend these channels. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a video where I recommend the channels that have actually helped me, because I don't like, I'm trying to remember, but I don't remember some of these channels. So I'm going to make a video where I'm just recommending like YouTube channels that have helped me. The other side, people think I'm weird for being a single man. There's nothing wrong with being single. There's nothing wrong with being single. um I know a lot of people who have not really suffered that much in life until they got into relationships. Like that's when they actually say, started suffering. But before they got into relationships, they did suffer, because we go through a lot in this world, but they suffered so much when they were in relationships that they even felt like ending it. I know people who have never talked about ending things, but you know when they were in relationships, and these relationships weren't working out, they would say, yo man, I even thought of ending it when I was going through this, when I was going through that. And I think that more people more like most people who actually end things because of relationship problems. Yeah, of course there are other problems, but I think if we were that connected as people, if we truly loved one another as people, it wouldn't be easy for someone to decide to end things. So usually it's when they feel unloved. So maybe they were in a relationship with someone, but they realize that the person didn't love them, or that person leaves them, and then boom, you know. Karma is a big hello from hell planet. It's difficult to find like-minded people in the real world. Mostly they live far or in the internet. Yeah, that should make us suspicious, actually. The fact that we live in different parts of the world. Like, it's not easy to find a person who sees things the way that you are where you live. Like, that should actually make you suspicious. Because I've spoken to a lot of people, but there are very few people from South Africa that I've spoken to, you know. I've spoken to a lot of people, but there are very, very few people that I've spoken to who are from South Africa. So that should make you, a bit suspicious. I mean, even the people that I've spoken to from South Africa, they don't like really live close to where I live. So it's like there are very few people who are actually conscious, who, but they are in different parts of the world. It's like they're not supposed to be that connected. It's like they're much stronger when they're connected. So they're supposed to be living in different parts of the world. Because I don't really think that's like the real reason why they're living in different parts of the world is because we're outnumbered and all that. Like there's very few of us. But I think we're not really supposed to be close, like for some reason. Frederick, I've always been honest and an outcast. Yeah, true. Like if you're going to be honest, automatically you're going to be an outcast. You're not really supposed to be honest. Bill R. Truth irritates demons. Truth will always irritate those that are benefiting from lies. So if you speak the truth, of course you're gonna irritate those who are actually benefiting from the lies. Like they're going to be against truth, not because um they don't understand the truth, some of them, but because they're benefiting from the lies, so they have to be against the truth. J Rob, every day when I wake up I be mad as shit. That's no, that sucks, man. That sucks. Do you feel like you wake up feeling mad, like because you are in this hellish realm, or you wake up feeling mad because of like something like personal that is going on in your life? Like is it like this realm itself that's just making you mad, or it's just like the personal things that are going on in your life? Spec streaming, church is not different than payday lending program. I always i always knew that church is a business, and I always found it weird that pastors would pretend as if they are holy, and what they are doing is actually helping other people. Like it's actually sickening that you know they will scam people but pretend as if they are holy and pretend as if they are good people, and uh they are trying to do something good in the world. Like they are so fake that they don't even see that they are fake. That is what's crazy. Like they've been trained to be fake. They've been trained to not see the wrongs that they are doing. Is it to me, Christianity is like a rip off, right? Like it's like a rip off of true spirituality. DDA don't have kids in this world, 100%. Like there's no reason to. 17 Joe me. What is so curious about human? We can see the same things, and we come up with different conclusions. Yeah, exactly. That is what's so damn weird. So we see what is going on, right? We see the same things that are actually going on, but our conclusions are different. Why? Our conclusions are different because some people are, if look, most people are seeking comfort. So they're going to come up with interpretations of what is going on that actually make them feel comfortable. Like they're scared of actually like seeing things as they really are, because that makes them uncomfortable. So they're seeking comfort. Like everyone is seeking comfort, you know, depending on what makes them feel comfortable. So they'll ask themselves, hey, what makes me feel comfortable? Or Christianity makes me feel comfortable, so I'm going to follow Jesus. Islam makes me feel comfortable, so I'm going to follow, you know, Allah. Like it, you see, if we take the easy way, what happens is that we become separated, because the truth does exist in this world, right? Truth really does exist. So if we be like, hey man, I want to take the easy way out, I'm not gonna like try to face things head on. I'm not gonna try to see things as they really are. And another person says the same thing, then there's gonna be separation by default. We're gonna end up just living in our own delusions. That's the real problem. That's like people loving different genres of music, right? And you ask you ask them, who's the most consistent artist in the world, who is the most influential artist in the world, and they say, oh, you know my favorite artist is this person, so I'm going to say this is the most influential person in the world. Like they would rather avoid the truth, in order to feel better about what they already believe or what they already like. So they are trying to like seek comfort. That is why we don't reach the same conclusions about the things that are going on in the world. Big day, I can't find anyone around me to connect with. It will be awesome to have a family of truth speakers. If we didn't have the internet, I think it will be very, very hard, like for people to connect. Like if we didn't have the internet, so at least we have the internet, and you know, you are connecting. We're able to, talk every day. So I think that helps. Spider-Man, there could be something that we can't see that makes us suffer. No, it seems that way actually. When you look at how we are as humans, like the fact that you have two legs, two eyes, you have a nose, like every body part has a function. You cannot tell me that this is random. Like this, there was nothing intelligent behind us. Like this just happened randomly. And if there was something intelligent behind, all of this, obviously, it has some secrets, right? Like there are some things that we're not supposed to know. And when we look at ourselves, when we look at how selfish we are, when we look at how we treat animals, we treat lower life form, do you think that whatever brought us here, if it's more conscious than us, would really care about us, or will just only care about why it brought us here for? So I wouldn't say it just wants us to suffer. I think the only way it can get what it wants is through us suffering. So it makes us suffer. The same way that, when humans mistreat animals, they're not mistreating animals, like unaliving them and eating them just because they are evil, but just because they want something from these animals. Like they don't just walk around unaliving animals for no reason, right? So that's kind of like how these beings are, these beings that are controlling us. Daniel Flower, yeah, yeah, shuffle up them tarot cards, buddy. um I've seen a lot of people talking about tarot cards on TikTok. Absolute tragedy. You don't believe in a continuation after this life? No, I don't think death is the end. I don't think death is the end. I think, just like I keep on telling you all, that I don't think this is the real reality. I think if it was the real reality, we would know um how it all started. We don't know how it all started because it's not the real reality. Just like if you were in a dream, you wouldn't really know how the dream actually started. You know, like when you're in a dream, you just find yourself in the middle of the dream and you just do whatever you feel you must be doing. You don't even remember how the dream started. So it's kind of like that. So I think it's an illusion of some sort, but then there is something that is getting energy from us, you know, by giving us these illusions that make us suffer. It's like if a person like who suffers from schizophrenia is shown scary things, and when they feel sad, they feel scared, they feel anxious, like they release something, and there's these beings that are getting, what they are releasing when they feel these negative emotions. I mean, think about it, man. Human beings are supposed to be lonely. We're created to um love one another when there's something that we can gain. You know, we're supposed to gossip about one another. We're not supposed to genuinely love one another. When things are not going well in my life, there will be people who will be talking about me, and who will be happy that things are not going well in my life. Um, we're supposed to fight for things, that will make you suspicious. Like that's how the game has been created to be. Like when you look at how things are in the wild, the way animals have to rip each other apart. Like there was no other way for them to survive. Like they literally have to live life doing the horrible things that they're doing to each other. So that should tell you something about what is actually going on in this realm. So we can't really say all of that is random. I don't think this, if this was a result of some random cosmic event, this wouldn't be the final product. This wouldn't be the final product. Obviously there are forces that we do not see that are controlling this reality, and if we're suffering and these forces are not doing anything to help us, it means that they want us to suffer, because if they didn't want us to suffer, they'll actually be helping us. Val has views. It's my first time seeing you on a live. We've been lied to about this place so much. I feel like I'm being gaslit every day. I think gaslighting is like uh, the best method that they use to make conscious people doubt themselves. Like they will gaslight you to make you doubt yourself. I've spoken to a lot of conscious people, who have told me that, hey, the people who are close to me are telling me this. People who are close to me are telling me that, and I'll be like, they're being told the same things, and that is weird. You talk to someone from um Atlanta, Joy, right? They tell you that, hey, my parents are saying this. They're saying that I need help because I feel like there is something wrong with this world. I know I need to go and see a pastor, so that they'll preach to me. And then I talked to someone from Canada, and they say the same thing, that their parents are actually saying that they need to see a pastor. I'm like, what? Like, it's like there are people who have been programmed to treat conscious people the same way, but they'll guess, like, you tell them something that is actually like something that is 100% true, and they'll guess, like, they'll make you think that you are the problem. You shouldn't be thinking this way, even though what you're saying makes complete sense. And it's scary, man. Just like I gave you all this example, guys. It's like, right, this is beer, right? Can you imagine if you live in the world where everyone was saying this is water? Like, how you'd feel? And if you try to convince them that no, it's beer, it's not water, they say that there's something wrong with you. They say that you are too negative. They say that you need Jesus, you need God. uh like that will make you feel so damn alone, right? So I think people have been programmed in a way that will, like, you know want to gaslight people who actually speak the truth, so that these people would feel discouraged, so that they will feel like there's something wrong with them, so that they will seek what they call help, and end up changing their minds. But it doesn't. I don't think you can really change your mind once you see things as they really are. You can't really change your mind. What will happen is that you will start to lie to yourself, start to brainwash yourself, but you still feel like there is something that is off. That's the thing. Apollonius, um Batesman, bro, Benedictine. I feel like an outcast in life. I don't know how long I can go on like this. My life sucks. Any tips to handle with this? Um, I think it's better to detach yourself. Like it's like if you were in a bad relationship, right? The only answer will be detaching yourself. Of course, it's not easy to leave someone that you love or detach yourself from someone that you love, but reality sucks so bad that that's really our superpower, the ability to actually detach ourselves, the ability to not take things too seriously, because things really do suck. If you take them too seriously, it means that they're going to affect you more deeply than they will affect you if you didn't take these things seriously. So yeah, detachment, man, detachment. um I actually do think that people detaching themselves from a lot of things that are going on is their way of saying f you to this reality. You detach yourself emotionally. You have to realize how unimportant the things that are making you stress are, because it's not like the things that you stress about are really that important. Is that you've been programmed to believe that they're important. You've been programmed to want to chase these things, so you become attached to them. It's not like that's what you originally wanted as a person. So that's the thing. So it's detaching yourself. That's what I've been working on. And the reason why I keep on suggesting that people should learn to detach themselves is because it has worked for me so far. I haven't been able to detach myself completely, but I've realized that the more I detach myself, uh, the harder it is for like this world to actually affect me, like in a negative way, right? Like things do happen, and I'm not affected as I used to be when I was still too attached to this realm. So it's to learn to detach yourself. It's to tell yourself that all of this is not. It's like you have to recognize things for what they are. All of this is just constructed to kind of like gain your energy. Get energy from you, get energy from you. So you have to realize that, just like I was telling you guys, that this is not random. Obviously, there are some beings who wanted this reality to be the way that it is. So that means that they also wanted us to suffer. So we're suffering because these beings actually wanted us to suffer. So it is good to detach yourself when you realize that there is something that is constructing a reality for you to actually suffer. It's like if someone was trying to prank you and you realized that they were trying to prank you. So when they prank you, it doesn't have the same effect that it would have if you didn't know they were trying to prank you. You see? Hey, Motun, and the pleasure is not equal to the suffering, which disproves the polarity theory. 100%. Just like I keep on telling you all that if you were to sign a contract right now, they say, "Yo, man, tomorrow you're gonna have the best day of your life," but the day after tomorrow you're gonna have the worst day of your life. Are you okay with that? You sign a contract and you have the best day of your life where you experience, you know, pleasure, you experience whatever you want, and then the day after tomorrow you experience the worst pain possible. That means you experience hell, like how it will actually be like being in hell. Like no one would want that. No one will want that because uh, like like the greatest amount of pleasure that we can feel um isn't equal to the amount of suffering that we can experience, like the amount of pain that we can experience. It fars, like it outweighs, like the pain that we can experience outweighs the pleasure that we can experience. The other side, first time seeing you on this channel. Life is in wealth. Um, oh yeah, if you're constantly fighting to survive and suffering, I think it's weird that if a person says that they don't feel like they want to play the game anymore, and they would actually like to be assisted, to kind of like exit peacefully without like without like causing any problems. We as a society we're like, oh, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's awful. So we don't have like deep conversations about what is going on with people who really feel that way. Like it's never honest conversations. Like the conversations are actually one-sided. The conversations that, hey, that person has mental issues, that person has mental issues, because a human being shouldn't feel like that. So obviously if you feel like that, you have mental issues. That's the problem. Like the conversation is one-sided. You're not allowed to uh, say, hey, I think there are people who genuinely do not want to, play the game for real. Like you're not allowed to say that in this world. You shouldn't say that. It is taboo. It is awful. It's evil if you say that. But are we sure that each and every person who feels like, this might not really be working for them? Like, are we sure that each and every person who feels that way has issues? But we're not supposed to, it's taboo to be honest, basically, like to be honest that, hey man, some people really do feel this way, like that's really how they feel, and it's not really because they have issues, but that's just how they feel. We're not supposed to say that. It's taboo to say that. Like it scares me that we live in a society where we can't speak certain truth. We live in a society where we can't really speak certain truth. We like even the way I'm talking about it now, you can see that I'm not being too open, because of like the platform that I'm in, because they can easily say, hey, you are promoting this, you're promoting that. So I kind of like have to like sugarcoat everything. But yeah, we live in a society where there isn't true honesty, where true honesty is taboo. We live in a society with woke people, right, who want to complain about everything. When there is something that kind of like challenges the status quo, it feel they start to complain. They start to complain because they're so used to how things are. So they feel like things being different is evil. Actually, like they're against honesty. They're against wisdom. They are against truth. There are people like that who are actually against truth, who are against wisdom. You know, they just want things to be the way that they are. They don't want people to like elevate their way of thinking. Like you must just be thinking at the same level all the time. EEE 369 is Sila. I can't even connect to my loved ones every time I try to tell them some truth to free their mind, and it does not work. They deny it um, they deny it instantly and rage at me for no real reason. It sucks. It really does suck. It gets to a point where you just want to be by yourself because being around them reminds you of how alone you are. So you want to be by yourself because being around other people who don't really understand you makes you feel more alone, right? Because you don't want to feel misunderstood. You want to connect with other people. So if you are with people who don't get you, If you are with people who, when you say something that you know is true, but they make you feel like you have issues for thinking that way, automatically they build a wall like between you and them. So it's hard for you to actually connect with them. Francis, yeah, I hate NPCs too. Can they be that stupid for real, or they just living a lie? Maybe they are real NPCs, man. Maybe in these simulations there are real non-player characters, just like when you're online and there are actual NPCs online. You have to understand that we really do live in a very strange reality where anything is really possible. That's why I'm saying you need to keep an open mind and actually realize that, this is not random. Like, don't look at it as if it's random. You know, um, when things happen to you, don't just say, "Oh, it's random." This was supposed to happen, or this happened because I did that. Because like, don't even focus on the background stories. Forget about the background stories. Things are too convenient for people to actually believe this is random. Like, even when you look at your own life, how things have happened in your own life, things have happened. Like, try to think of your upbringing, the things that you've had to go through. Does it really seem that random? Like, it was all random. It just happened randomly. you know once you start connecting dots, you realize that it was actually like kind of like supposed to happen for some reason. Like, the bad stuff, they're supposed to happen for some reason. Even the good stuff. Frederick, this is too close to the truth. It was made to suffer. You think it's close, or it is the actual truth? Steve Brown, what's up? Liking the channel. What's up, man? What's up? V, I don't know, Francis, but it drives me crazy. Spider-Man 6. If I wasn't years in solitude, I wouldn't know so much. Most likely, yeah, you'll be too distracted. You'll be too distracted. You see, it's people who um isolate themselves who actually start seeing things as they are. It's kind of like when you are in society, you get brainwashed. You get hypnotized. Like, they put you under a spell some sort. So when you isolate yourself, that's when you are able to think independently and become what you actually are. Like, that's when you're actually able to connect with your true self. That's when you are able to connect with God. I don't mean God like in a religious sense, like there's this, but I mean, that's when you are able to connect with your higher self. That's when you are able to see what is actually going on in your own head, you know. But when you are with other people, you want to fit in, right? You don't want to look too weird, so you kind of like compromise a little bit, and in order to fit in and be accepted, you know. I think social acceptance actually does make people stupid, because you kind of like have to neglect yourself. So if there's something about you that they do not accept, you kind of have to be like, okay, I'm gonna have to hide this. But if you are alone, you don't have to hide anything, because you don't have to hide anything to yourself, right? You know yourself. There's nothing to hide. You're only embarrassed of yourself because of how other people look at you, not really because of how you look at yourself. So when you are by yourself, you're not embarrassed, right? But when you are around other people, you are embarrassed because there might be some things about you that they might not accept. Triumvirate, pain is the best motivator to keep living creatures going and fighting for survival from an evolutionary perspective. That's the reason. Is that simple? Yeah, yeah, it is. But that should tell us something because if you were in a relationship with someone and you didn't have freedom, like when they wanted you to do something and you didn't want to do it, they punished you somehow. You wouldn't think they're a good person, right? See, we live in a world uh, where sentient life has to do certain things. If they don't do these things, they automatically suffer. Like there's no way. Like nature punishes you for not doing what it wants you to do. Like you're not free. You can't just chill and do nothing if you don't want to do anything. Like you've been programmed to seek and seek and seek. You feel lonely when you're alone, like and until you kind of like master being alone, but that's not easy. Like it takes years. That's why some people will say that they are lonely when they're alone. So you kind of like want to be around other people, but um that can also like make you suffer because people are not connecting, and they connect. I mean, they don't really connect actually. What happens is that they want something from one another, so they kind of like connect because of that. So if a person sees that there's something that they can gain from you, that's when they want to be close to you. That's why I made videos where I was talking about how relationships actually died. Val his views. Someone once wrote, what if life here is just the bad dream and death is when you wake up? Maybe it's just your dream and everyone else is in it. I think each and every person who's able to think deeply should think that at some point. Because, dreams actually show you that it is possible to be in a world, or let me put it this way, it is possible to have an experience that you 100% believe is real, but that isn't real. If it's possible to have an experience that you believe 100% that is actually real, how do you know for sure that that's not the kind of experience that you are having? Steve Brown, just don't get how people are unaware that their child can really go through so much pain in life and isn't guaranteed a good. Like honestly, it doesn't make sense. I remember someone said it's weird that truth exists, but we don't reach the same conclusions. Like truth exists. You cannot tell me that it is not true that when you create a person, you don't get consent from them, right? You create them, and they have to go through life. They have to deal with the challenges of life, but they didn't consent, and they are forced to go through these challenges. And you don't think there might be something wrong with it? Like that doesn't make you a bit suspicious that ish, but people really do go through a lot. Human beings really do go through a lot, like in this realm, because they do really go through a lot. Even the people that actually seem happy, but they do go through a lot. Sometimes I do try to see things from other people's perspective. I'm like, is this person really happy? You look at another person and you're like, what's really going on in their lives that's actually exciting, that makes them excited about this. The more I do that, the more I think, people really do go through a lot, and It's because they were brought here and they don't know what to do. I mean, you're here. You're supposed to play the game that you didn't ask to play, so you must play it. Like that's what's normal. Oren, Oren, hola. How to break free? Dying won't work, I guess. I fear this will just lead directly back yet to be born again. Detachment. You have to not take it seriously. You have to be so damn conscious that you don't even take your dream seriously. So when things happen, they mustn't affect you the way that they were meant to affect you. I think that's the answer. You don't take things seriously. And I think it needs to get to a point where we look at reality as a maze of some sort, as a mind game. So even when you're in your dreams, you look at reality as a mind game, as if there's this entity that is kind of like giving you this reality that it wants you to believe in, right? Like it's trying to manipulate you by showing you. It's like if there was this evil being that was able to make people hallucinate, and it was showing them a reality that it wanted them to see in order to manipulate them. So you kind of have to look at reality that way, right? As if it's some kind of a mind game, and you kind of like have to try to figure out what is going on behind the scenes. So even in the afterlife, if you're capable of remembering that it's a mind game, I do believe that you kind of will be able to free yourself the same way that you might have freed yourself from some religious beliefs, right? Maybe you're indoctrinated, but you're still able to free yourself. You kind of realize that it was BS. So I think that's the way. It's to realize that there is something that wants you to remain ignorant and believe that all of this is random. Like there are no forces that are trying to like keep you ignorant. I believe there are non-human forces that want us suffering for energy. Yeah, true, true. Why do you believe in reincarnation? I don't really believe in reincarnation, but if it's possible, I want people to know what they would need to do to make sure that they don't really reincarnate back here. So I wouldn't say that I really believe that we reincarnate back here, but anything is possible at this point. Like we must keep an open mind. I mean, we exist. This has happened. So to say it won't happen again, to be so certain that it won't happen again, that will still be being ignorant, right? So what can we do to make sure that if it is possible to reincarnate back here, we never reincarnate back here? So I wouldn't really say, hey, I believe in reincarnation. Um, but we still have to be prepared for anything, right? So we need to be prepared for anything because anything is possible at this point. Accepting life. I'm just so glad you are having so many views lately and also surprised because the truth usually attracts very few people, but somehow you manage. No, thanks. You know what I think? Um like when you look at many channels like where people are actually speaking the truth, you'd realize that they don't have that many followers, but the views are high, right? And there are channels with more than like 20K, 30K, 50Ks that are getting the same views that they are getting. That should tell you something. That should actually tell you something. I think people really do want the truth. The problem is that we have been brainwashed so damn much uh, that um, it's normal to kind of like follow the status quo, right? Like to just focus on what everyone else is doing, and also things that are real are not being suggested to a lot of people. Like if you make a video where you are, just doing something funny, like that video could easily go viral. But if you are making a video where you are talking about something that is real, it's not easy for that video to go viral. So it's kind of like there's some forces that don't want the truth to really be out there. But I think people are waking up and they really do want the truth, but the truth is not being suggested to them. There's the thing. Like what's being suggested to them is nonsense. So they think the truth is not out there. Like there are no YouTube channels that are actually talking about what they really think is going on. So I'm actually glad that some of the videos were able to reach more people than usual. Or Ren, she's agreeing to what Val is saying. Or Val is saying that she believes in reincarnation. Will How tall are you, Ben? Like I'm 5'9", but like why do you ask that question? I think I'm like 5'9", like 175 whatever centimeters. But it's not. I don't think that's like important. According accepting life, I just hope they took away your most important message with them, which is antennas. I just hope they. Oh, I think he's saying that I hope they didn't take your most important message away. No, no, nothing will take away the message. Actually, like on this channel, I'm focusing on detachment, antinatalism, and really being yourself and uh, accepting yourself as you are. Being real, being honest, not being afraid to really speak your mind. I think authenticity is important. I think um detaching ourselves from the nonsense is important. I think antinatalism is important. Games dog, hi from the UK. Glad I found your channel. No, thanks. It's actually my first time seeing you here. uh Kia, yeah, he is the truth. No, thanks. Absolute tragedy. Is the UK a good country? I think this question is addressed to Games Dog. Uh, Adam, greetings, Benedictine from Oregon. Um, where is Oregon? Like I've he- I've heard about this place like a lot of times. So, like where is really is Oregon? Um, Games Dog, you must have read David Ice work. I agree with David Icke on a lot of things. My only problem with a lot of people who are conscious is that they still seem to kind of like be attached to this realm, right? So someone will say, or like someone like David Icke will say that they are reptilians, who have been controlling things in this world, right? Who've been ensuring that human beings remain ignorant. We're not in control. That would actually mean that we're not in control. They're able to alter our perceptions. They're able to control our thoughts. They have technology that allows them to, see everything that we're doing and all that. But then they're still having children. That's my problem. Like, why do you think that it's a good idea to bring someone into a world where they can be manipulated that way? That's my problem with someone like David Icke. But I agree with him on a lot of things. But if he really believes that there are reptilians in this realm, I do not think that it makes, but I can also understand that he might maybe have had children when he was still young and when he was still not really aware what is really going on. I don't know, but some of these people who think like David Icke are still having children, so it doesn't make sense. It makes you a bit suspicious. Hey, the Martin. I'm so glad I found your channel. It's so refreshing, speaking the truth. No, thanks, thanks, thanks. Val his views. So as suffering is beneficial to something or someone, hence they recycling. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, um, if you were able to get energy from something very easily, and it was like the best way for you to get energy from it, and you wanted energy from it, you do your best to kind of like make sure that it's there, like it doesn't really, like you would make sure that it's recycled, actually, like the way that we recycle like recycle things in general. So it makes sense to look at things that way, because it doesn't make sense that sentient life suffers. Um, guys, I think we're gonna stop this live around. Like it's gonna be 2 hours now. We're gonna stop the live. So keep on liking, keep on liking. Big T, I love you. You inspire me. No, thanks, thanks. Absolute tragedy. Have you ever written a book, Benedictine? No, but I'm writing a book right now. It's gonna take time for me to finish it. I want it to be so damn deep. I want it to, like, I want it to help people, like I don't want to like write a book like the way that I'll be making videos. Like I want to take my time. I want it to be something else, so I'm taking my time. I'm not sure when I'm going to finish it, but I'm writing it and I'm really really taking my time. So yeah. Valley's views, no, don't unalive yourself. I think it won't fix anything. uh who are you responding to? Yeah, we need to become more conscious. Honestly, we need to become more conscious. um think about it. If you've left this place when you were just starting to wake up, you wouldn't have known some things that some people believe in a reincarnation trap, right? You've probably have learned these things like later on, after like starting to wake up and starting to realize that something is wrong. So I think the longer you stay, the more you learn, the more conscious you become, so that you kind of like ready for whatever is next. I just hope that we're still able to remember, so that we'll be ready to face whatever is next if there is something that's going to happen next. Like I don't want to sound too sure. I don't want to sound too sure. I want to be honest. you know it's important that you are never too sure. You always keep an open mind. I'll be back in a while. Keep liking the video, guys. Actually, it's on 91 likes, so let's try to make it reach 100 before we end the live. I'll be back in a second. Oh, thanks, guys. We're on 99 likes, so only one like to get to 100. The other side, life is a constant struggle through, like you, to get what you really want out of life, you are supposed to struggle. I remember someone commented earlier on, like not on on this live, but on, like, I read someone's comment before going live, and they were saying that when you want something, you don't get it, and there's something that I've actually spoken about before. Like when you truly desire something, you don't get it. So it's like the trick is to not desire anything that much. It's like, yeah, you want something, but not that much. It's like when you want something that much, you kind of like repel it. So you struggle to get what you want, and you don't get it because you want it until you stop wanting it and want something else, and then you get it. It's so strange. Like that's how things have been in my life. Like when I would really want something, I would not get it, and when I stop wanting it, I would get it because I would have done enough to actually get it, but then it would have. But it, like, this reality will try its best to make sure that you don't really get what you. For some reason, I don't know why it's like that, but I think it has a lot to do with energy. Like it gets your energy, like when you want something. Echoes. This channel is growing. Yeah, true. The channel is growing. The channel is growing, and thanks. We need to beat the matrix. We need to beat the matrix. So yeah, the more you support the channel, the more it grows. I just hope that something doesn't happen to the channel, because here's the thing: when you really speak the truth, like when you're really really speaking the truth, usually there's going to be forces that are going to be like, hey, what this person is doing is actually changing things. you know like the bigger you become, like let's say the channel gets like 10,000 followers, and it gets like 100,000 views. Of course there's going to be a lot of people who are going to start to see things a bit differently. So usually what happens is that YouTube will start saying, hey, you're breaking the YouTube guidelines. Actually, it has happened with one of the videos, even though I was not like um even though I was following the guidelines. They deleted one of the videos that I've uploaded a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't like really try to, because you can actually tell them that, hey, actually you are wrong. You can, it's just AI. You didn't get what I was really saying, but I was like, it is what it is. But yeah, I just hope that we're able to keep on growing. It doesn't get to a point where the system is like, okay, um, you know this guy is a threat, because that does happen. I've seen that happen so many times. So I just hope the channel keeps on growing. you know no 199, what do you think about Yelda Both or the Damiage? I discovered Gnosticism, I think, in 2016, and There was this time when I was like really trying to leave Christianity. It really took me a long time to actually leave Christianity, and it just made sense. It made sense that even if Gnosticism isn't true, like if like the things that Gnostics have written are not really true or they have not really happened, but you can see that it really makes sense to believe in Gnosticism. It really makes sense to believe that there's this evil being that is like really controlling things in this reality, and that doesn't want us to escape, that has trapped us here. Like it makes complete sense. It makes complete sense to look at life that way than to say, hey, we must worship whatever created this, you know. So yeah, I think I would say I believe in Gnosticism on a philosophical level. I do not know if what they wrote about is historically accurate, but I believe in Gnosticism on a philosophical level. I actually believe that Gnostics were philosophers. Like they were able to see things as they really are. They were able to see that, oh no, the God that these people believe in is evil. You know, we're talking about a God that will kill people for stupid reasons. You know, a God that would ensure that if you don't believe in Him, you actually suffer. You know, a God that is jealous. Like they realized that, so they were against this kind of God that people worshipped at the time. So yeah, I believe in Gnosticism on a philosophical level. It does seem like there's this being that wants us to suffer. Alwyn, Yell the ball is probably some kind of AI. Yeah, it actually does seem that way. That AI is actually controlling this reality. It really, really, really does seem that way. Especially when you look at how advanced AI is now. Like when you look at what AI can do right now, imagine what it will be able to do 50 years from now. It will be able to do things that we consider to be impossible now. When you look at where we were technologically um 50 years ago, and you look at where we are, like it's impossible, right? It's impossible for us to be where we are technologically now. So imagine where we will be technologically like 50 years from now. Imagine where AI would, like how advanced AI will be 50 years from now. So it does make sense to actually believe that this is an AI generated reality, like AI is controlling it. Like it really does make sense. It really, really does make sense. Smooth operator, hello host. No, it's my first time to see you here. Welcome, welcome. Noah 99, yell the ball. My dad. Oren, Val, I agree. I feel this too. Always kind of wanted to go home. No, I feel you. I feel you. Brian 777. I did an interview a few months ago about this room. Check it out. Um, I don't know if it's possible for you to post the link, but if it is, please do. Hey, do you think if we become neutral and unaffected by the suffering prompt, then we don't come back because we are not fueling the luge factory? I am a rebel and I don't agree. I love how you've put it, and I actually agree. I actually agree. I do believe that if we stop giving like this matrix our energy, it kind of like loses its power. Like it actually gains its power when we're giving it our energy, and it will try whatever it can. Like it try whatever trick it can to get energy from us. So I wouldn't say yeah, but you're right when you say we should be neutral. But I would say we kind of need to be totally detached, right? Not necessarily neutral, because when we're neutral, we kind of like saying, oh, this might be good or bad, kind of thing. So we need to conclude that this is bad and totally detach ourselves rather than being neutral. But I agree with you. I think if it stops getting energy from people, no matter what trick it tries, it's still not getting energy from people. You get to a point where it loses its power. That's why I'm encouraging people that, hey man, even when weird things happen, try to detach yourself, try to realize that there are beings that want you to go through the things that you're going through, and not because you're going to grow, but because they want energy from you, period. There's a reason why a lot, they talk about demons in many different religions. um it does seem like that these beings that really really want our energy, and that is why we end up going through suffering. So I really like, I really agree with you, and I love how you've put it. I'm trying to finish this drink. Oh, 209. Well, actually, mm, did this for more than 2 hours. I think we're gonna end the live when I finish the drink. Um, Lucifer. I love the name. I was taking a shower listening, but I heard you said you never heard of Bobby Hemmett. You got to check out Bobby Hemmett and brother Panic too. Mm, you know what I'm going to do? Let me type the name on my laptop right now, and uh check. I'm gonna check him out after the live. Baby Hemmett. Let's see. All right. All right. Yeah, I found some videos. I see a black guy. I don't know if it's him, but yeah, yeah, definitely. I'm gonna check him out after this live. 100%. I'm gonna check him out after this live. I've never heard of him, and I'm a person who likes to um like research about different topics. So I don't know, how I've never heard of him. Like it's not like it's rare for someone to tell me about a person that I even heard about. So it's weird that I even heard of him. But I'll check him out and see. The man, what's real in our own belief? What's real is our own belief, not religion. Um, I think we need to get to a point where we don't really believe, right? Like it needs to get to a point where you are so skeptical that you don't really believe, right? Like that's why I've spoken to you guys about solipsism, because the moment you believe something, this realm is gonna use your beliefs to attack you. So let me give you a simple example. Let's say you believe in Christianity, right? You believe that Christianity is true. The matrix is gonna make you think that some people are trying to um make you doubt Jesus so that you hate them, or someone is bewitching you, because people who believe in Christianity will also believe you know in that. Like, but if you believe nothing, no matter what happens, you kind of like, I'm detached, man. Like whatever trick the matrix is trying to play on me, it is what it is. I do not care. I think that's kind of like how you free yourself. No one. Have you read Mashima? No, no, I haven't. I haven't. Uh, Carl A. Trick. What is truth for you? Um, Truth is what people can never really disprove, but they can only gaslight you for saying it. You see, like when I say truth, I'm not saying I'm not talking about something like I'm not talking about something specific, right? When I say truth, I'm talking about you being so damn real that you say something that is real in every situation. That is truth to me. You say something that is real, and people have nothing to say against what you're saying, so they just start gaslighting you. They start saying, "Hey, um, you are demonic, or you think too much, you overthink, or you are focusing on the negative things, stuff like that." Like they don't have any arguments against what you have said because it is the truth, right? Because the truth is actually obvious. Like you can never falsify truth. So truth is something that can never be falsified. That is why the people who try to disagree with me on this channel, they never really falsify what I'm saying. They'll just like try to attack me as a person, right? They'll try to attack me as a person rather than trying to disprove the things that I'm saying. So um of course there isn't one truth, right? Because you know life is very complicated, but truth is something that cannot be falsified, something that cannot really be challenged. So that's how I'm gonna put it. Skryla, what do you believe happens after death? Well, I actually wanted to make a video about that. What do I think happens after death? Um, I think we are able to create reality. I think every conscious being is able to create reality. What has happened in this world is that some beings found a way to make us create a reality that we do not want to create. By making us doubt ourselves, by making us forget who we are, by making us suffer to a point where we become so damn anxious, so scared, that we end up creating a reality that we do not want to create. It's like when you are dreaming and you are having, like, you had a bad day and you start dreaming. You start dreaming about things that don't make sense because you've had a bad day. So it's like they know how to make us create a reality that doesn't make sense. They try to provoke us in so many different ways that we start creating a reality that doesn't make sense. So what do I think happens after we die? I think we find ourselves in a reality that will be created by our minds. And what we need to be doing in this realm is to be learning to detach ourselves from the things that we do not want, so that we'll find ourselves in a reality that is actually better. I think some people are going to go into some messed up realities because of what they believe, right? And they're going to be manipulated by these beings that are controlling everything. So, for an example, let's say you're a Christian, these beings can take you to a place that's kind of like similar to hell, although uh, it won't be the way that hell is described in the Bible, but it will be something similar to that because they've sinned. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone does bad things in this realm. So some beings are going to go to places like that. Some beings are going to go to places that seem like heaven, but where they're going to be treated like slaves. So I think we need to reach a level of consciousness where we don't allow ourselves to feel uh, or to be overwhelmed by negative emotions. So yeah, we can feel them because what can we do? Like negative things keep on happening, but we don't give this. Uh, we don't give them too much power. We don't focus on them so much that they overwhelm us. I think that's how we'll actually be able to find ourselves in a better realm, or having much, like a lot of power in the afterlife. So I think you go into a place that you kind of like believe you go to, right? I think that's what happens after, you leave this realm. Like I keep on telling you all that I don't think this is the real reality. I think this is in some kind of a dream or an illusion. Call it what you want to call it. You can call it this a simulation, whatever you want to call it, but I don't think it's really real. Yo B, welcome. Light is definitely not a hell realm. No, say something. Don't just say it's not. It's definitely not a hell realm. Tell me why you think it's not a hell realm. Loon, it's definitely a hell realm. Thanks for that response. Thanks for that response. Absolute tragedy. Have you ever written a book, Benedictine? Uh, yeah, I've already. I think you're the one who asked this question, and I've answered it. Light, it's not a hell realm. It's only hell for those who create it to be hell. Okay. I wanna address this. I've heard so many people saying that it depends on how you look at things, right? So if something happens, some people will look at it as if it's bad, and some people are gonna look at it as if it's good. If you look at it as bad, as if it's bad, it will be similar to kind of like feeling like this is a hell rim. But if you look at it as if it's good, it will be similar to like thinking of this like as heaven. The problem is that uh most people who try to see things positively all the time, these people find comfort like in believing that what they are experiencing or what they are seeing is positive. So it's not about them actually seeing things as they really are. And yes, there are some people who see negativity everywhere. What I focus on is the actual truth, like um how does what is happening affect everyone, right? The majority of people, are they affected positively or negatively? Are there many people who are suffering because of what happened than a lot of people who are actually benefiting from what has happened? Like I try to be as open minded as possible. I'm not trying to like seek for comfort. I'm not trying to feel good, right? I don't try to interpret things in a way that will make me feel good. I try to interpret things in a way that is real. And I question myself every single day. Like I told you guys that I'm a person who likes to think. So when things happen, and I see them a certain way, I ask myself, why do I see things this way? So they say something happened and I feel like it's negative. Why do I think that it's negative? Does it have to do with what has happened to me in the past? Maybe I was traumatized by something similar to what has happened, so I perceive this to be a negative thing. The more I do that, the more I grow, the more I see things as they really are. So it's not about how you view things. It has to be like, because most people just want to view things in a way that will make them feel comfortable, and you know that. That's why, think about it, like why are so many people religious? They're religious because they're trying to seek for comfort. So truth really does exist, right? It's not about like how you see things. It's not just about how you see things. There's truth. Let me give you a simple example of this. Let's just say someone very close to you pass away, and they were unalived by someone, and you tell yourself that it was part of God's plan, right? You have told yourself something that is positive, something that makes you feel good. So your response seemed to make sense that it has to do with how you look at things, right? Someone has passed away, and I believe that it's God, it's God who actually made it happen, and God made it happen for a good reason. But what you must notice is that um, you don't know that it's God who made it happen. It's just what you want to believe because you find comfort, in believing that. So that's the thing. But if you were to look at the situation realistically, you'd realize that, okay, what happened really is horrible. And I don't know if there is a God, right? This person was unalive by someone for no good reason. That is messed up. Maybe there's a God, maybe there is no God. And even if there is a God, how do I know that this God is good and he didn't just make that happen because he's evil? You know, like we need to be so damn open-minded that w- we open our minds to all possibilities rather than like just believing something that makes us feel good. So it's not about how you look at things. There is truth. So you need to try to look at things more realistically to figure out what is actually going on. The Chawa, the people underspose by understanding how to spell. Um, I think something is missing. You see, for if you can stay young and um, got to get old and see your loved ones die, that's a hell realm. When you wake up and in pain, that is a hell realm. That is obvious. Just the fact that we can feel pain even if we do not want to feel pain, um, does actually prove that we are in a hell realm. The fact that we are forced to do things that we might not necessarily want to do just because we are trying to avoid pain, that should actually prove to us that we are in a hell realm. The fact that people are waking up in the morning and going to work, so that they don't end up homeless, that should prove to y'all that it's a hell realm. You know, religion is just another trap. The people who don't believe we're in a hell realm are just people who are religious. They will tell themselves that, hey, God knows what He's doing. Like, nah, man. Called cars, they will always be suffering no matter how enlightened you are. Yeah, I love what you've said. They will always be suffering no matter how enlightened you are. And the truth is that the more enlightened you become, the more you see how messed up things are. Unless, and this is really important, unless you become enlightened and gain a lot of followers, and you become very egotistical, and you start to see, you start to project, right? You start to feel good because you have a lot of followers, so you start to think, hey, everyone must feel the way that I'm feeling. You don't realize that you feel the way that you're feeling because you have a lot of followers. You are in light. You understand things better than a lot of people, but then a lot of people are following you because you understand things better than a lot of people. So now you start to think it means this is good. You don't realize that no, your followers don't have followers, so they don't feel the way that you feel. So you feel better because you have followers. And I've realized that with a lot of people who become very popular, right? They gain a lot of they gain a large following, and then they start to think this is good, right? And they start to spread positivity everywhere because they feel good, right? They start to tell people that try this, try that, because that's what is actually working for them. But it's not working for a person who doesn't have a large following. It's not working for a person who doesn't have money. You see, so the more enlightened you become, like the more you see things as they really are, unless you become very egotistical. Or the child is trying to like explain what they were saying. Or you are the only one thinking all your life. The people under spells by understanding how to spell. I still don't get what you're saying. Um, Tronics, love, thanks. Um, Nubaholic, I found peace by using hard drugs. Um, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Skrilla, you seem to only focus on the negative aspects of life. All right. Mm, everything that we think is good, everything that we think is positive, is predicated upon something that is negative. Have you realized that everything that you think is good is predicated upon something that is evil? For someone to be rich, someone has to be poor, right? For someone to be a master, someone has to be a slave, right? For someone to be beautiful, someone has to be ugly. So the good things that you get in life are predicated upon things that are actually bad in life. You know, this reminds me of this movie. It's called Us. It was directed by Jordan Peele. Is like one of my favorite. Um, so there was these people who were living underground, uh, who looked like the people who were living, like like in the real world. When they were experiencing good things in life, the ones who were underground were experiencing hell. So when they were experiencing pleasure, the ones who were underground were experiencing pain. So it's kind of like that. That's how this matrix work. For someone to win, someone has to lose. You know, for um, Tyson Fury to win, Wilder had to lose. Like that's how it works. You know, so that's what you must realize. So I don't focus on the negative things in life. I focus on the truth. What I just told you is the truth, but it sounds negative, right? See, I'm not focusing on the negative. I'm not saying uh, there are people who are losing and all of that. I'm telling y'all that for people to lose, someone has to win. For someone to win, someone has to. You know what I mean? It's true, but it's negative. So the truth about our reality is naturally negative. We can't. There's nothing we can do about that. It's just negative. So I don't focus on the negative aspects of life. I'm not even specific. Like I don't even talk about certain things specifically. I just try to philosophize about what is actually going on, and the truth always sounds wicked. Think about the truth about anything, you realize that it's actually wicked. Sweet leaf spirit naturally hates this realm. We're going. I love what you've just said. Spirit naturally hate this realm. Think about it. You don't find yourself wanting to do a lot of things, right? There's a reason why people who are religious want to fast. There's a reason why people who are religious view this body as something that is kind of like evil. I mean, they won't really say it's evil, but they kind of like view it that way. They're trying to like get rid of their desires. Once you become conscious, or you connect with your spirit, this, I'm gonna put it that way, but not in the religious sense. But once you become conscious and connect with your essence, you kind of like hate this realm. You don't want to like really be connected to this realm. You don't want to be tied to this realm. You start to see that there are a lot of things that are happening in this realm that really don't make sense. So yeah, that should actually tell us something. Triumvirate, when the total lucidity is reached, if you truly imagine the whole picture of the hellscape, you will fall into the ultimate black hole. Seeing is dying. That's possible. That's possible. um I think most people are not lucid. I think if like you truly become lucid in this reality, like that's when the magic like really happens. It's like if you're lucid in your dream, things that are not common in your dreams are going to start to happen because you're lucid, right? Like you're like you see that you're dreaming, so you kind of like break the rules. So that's kind of like what happens in this reality once you become like really lucid. That's why people who are more conscious than other people tend to break the rules. Like they're not afraid to break the rules because they realize that, well, rules were made up, but those who are less conscious, they don't like want to break the rules. So I think it makes sense. Val, maybe everything here is just an illusion. Yeah, it is. Everything here is just an illusion. That's the best way to look at it. It makes sense. Light says, happiness is not real. Peace is though. Yeah, I do agree with you on that. Like, I remember there was something that you said that I didn't agree with, but I do agree with you that happiness isn't real, but peace is real. My 92001, right? We are all going through something here. True, true. Hater. I am a loving person. I am spiritual and resilient. I do not give my attention and energy to manipulators. I am paralyzed and I have a spine injury that hurts very much and no good sleep for years. No, I like the fact that you're saying that you don't give your energy to manipulators. Um, some people when they are not going through what you're going through or not seeing life the way that you're seeing it, like it's hard for them to believe that that is actually real. I remember I was on TikTok today, and I came across a video of this other lady that was talking about an accident. Like she was supposed to she was a guard like in prison, but then when one day she woke up in the morning and she was going to work and she got involved in a car accident, and she was kind of like paralyzed, like her whole life changed. um and she ended up getting locked up even though she was disabled, after the accident. Like it's so what I was thinking was that sometimes if you've never like uh dealt like have been close to a person who is in that kind of situation, it doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel like there are people who are really going through that. you know you don't, like, it doesn't feel that way. But it's real. It happens. It happens in this realm. There are people who are paralyzed. There are people who are sick. There are people who are in a hospital bed right now. You know, people are dealing with different challenges, but we're focusing on our own bubbles, that we forget that people are dealing with different challenges in life. Just like someone said, that we are all going through something. So it's like you can't lie to yourself so much that you try to ignore the fact that everyone is going through something. And that should tell us something about this realm, because people are going through so much in this realm. So it doesn't make sense to say, um, this is good, right? This is good for everyone just because some people are doing good. And we believe that most people who are doing good are doing good because they've done the right things. We don't realize that we live in a world that actually rewards us for being selfish. When you look at rappers who became successful in America, it's usually the rappers who used to do a lot of horrible things. Rappers who weren't afraid to unalive someone, and they started making money, and started some businesses, using the money, and they actually became successful. So that's how it works. It's like you got to be willing to be evil to kind of like make things happen in this realm. But yeah, we need to be aware that it's not only what's happening in our Bible that it's actually happening. Like, there are other things that are happening in other people's Bibles, and they go through their own struggles, they go through their own pain. Because some people sometimes only focus on what they're going through, and they judge life only based on what they're going through, without realizing that no, there are other people who are going through things that are worse than what I'm going through. You know, you see, for happiness and peace should be in the same category. No, 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 no. Happiness is different. Happiness is different. It doesn't mean that if you find peace, you are automatically happy. Peace will be like you not feeling scared, you're not feeling like feeling afraid, like something bad is going to happen to you. You not feeling anxious, not you not feeling threatened, but that doesn't automatically mean that you're happy. Happiness is a bit different. Amish man, uh Session of Venting album by Amish Man is now available on all platforms. Thanks for the support and God bless. All right. Sweet Leaf, responding to hater, your spirit will be free from this curse of. All right, all right. Hater, I live alone with no family, no partner, no friends. Who understand these things. It's very isolating, the whole thing. But whatever, I'm strong enough until I get out of this wicked game. That's the thing, man. Once you start seeing this reality, like the way that we see it, it's not easy to connect with other people for some reason. It's like they're living in a different reality, and you are living in a different reality. So it's hard for you to connect with them, but it's also like but sometimes you feel like you don't even want to connect with them, because they just don't understand you, so they make you feel more alone when you are with them. So yeah, I get you, and that's one of the biggest reasons why I'm making videos is to connect with like-minded people so that they don't feel more alone, because I know that when you think the way that I think, of course, people are going to make you think um, that you're wrong, or sometimes make you even like think that there's something wrong with you because you don't see things the way that they see things, and you might sometimes even feel like you must pretend as if you see things the way that they see things so that they will accept you. But I think it's important that people are themselves no matter what. I think there's power in authenticity. That's Loon. That still doesn't explain how we exist. If we are spirit, how did we end up in our parents' not plus? That's a good question, but I think this is more kind. This is kind of like a dream. So even that is an illusion. It's like if you have a dream where you are being born, right? It seems real that you are born. So you'll be like, how did I end up being born? But you weren't really born. It's an illusion. But you're supposed to believe that illusion, and we kind of like help that illusion to continue to like exist by playing along. So when we decide that we're going to procreate, we kind of like playing along, so we make this illusion continue to exist. Yeah, that's the best way that I can put it. You'll be we want peace, love, and harmony. You think that's possible in this realm? We're designed to like always be fighting, not understanding one another, always having problems. Jennifer's dog rescue. Hey everyone, just found you all today. Great to be here. No, thanks, and you are welcome. You're welcome, Lucifer. Maybe because we are them. Mm, I think Lucifer's responding to someone. Ada, thanks for the encouragement, sweet leaf. I hope so. I hope I don't come back here again. I want to go somewhere else where we don't need to take from one another to survive. Yeah, honestly, it doesn't make sense that we were supposed to harm one another to survive. Like we're supposed to harm animals to survive. Um, it's a dog eat world. I mean, eat dog kind of world. Like everyone is just trying to look out for themselves. That's a red flag. Skrill, we should stop chasing short-term pleasure and seek long-term fulfillment and soul nourishment. That's how you can achieve a certain level of peace of mind. Um, I don't know. I mean, that sounds good, but how do you kind of like seek for real fulfillment in this world? Because someone might tell you that yeah, the reason why you're stressing is because you're just searching for short-term pleasures, right? You're not trying to like seek for real fulfillment in life. But what do you really mean by like real like fulfillment, like soul nourishment? Like what do you really mean by that? It sounds good to say, but it's not practical in this realm. You know what it turns into uh people uh pretending as if they found peace. Have you seen people who pretend as if they found peace? Like they haven't really found peace, but they pretend in front of other people, and then other people think, "Oh, you found peace? okay, I'm gonna join you, and that person also pretended as if they found peace, and they kind of like create a cult of some sort, or like a religion, and they all pretend, you know. The child one is literal living temple for you. You are the only one that can give anyone anything. One is that only thinking all one's life. Hey, does any practice consciously leaving the body while you're still here to practice for death? Um, I've had uh I wouldn't say I have had an out of body experience, but I think I've experienced something close to that last year in June. Like it started last year in June, and it happened to me like 3 or 4 times after that, where I knew that I was about to have an out of body experience, but I was like, now is in the time. I remember I communicated with someone who's also an internationalist. I told him that um, I didn't know that this person had an out of body experience. I mean, they told me that they had an out of body experience, but they didn't tell me how it happened. So they told me that, hey, I had an out of body experience. I was like, I had something similar to that. I knew that I was about to have an out of body experience. My body literally started vibrating like a cell phone, right? Like it started to vibrate, and I could feel like that I'm about to have an out of body experience. But I was like, nah, something, like I felt like something was off. So I kind of like, nah, and it didn't happen. So when I told them, they were like, "Yo, that's exactly what happened to me. Like that's crazy. Like my body literally started vibrating, and then after that, I had an out of body experience." So yeah, I've never had an out of body experience, but after that experience that I had, I started also started to do my research because of what that person said, and I realized that that's kind of like how it happens, and that made me believe them, believe that these people who saying that they've had an out of body experience, they really did have an out of body experience, because they explained exactly what I felt. Like it was supernatural, it was not a dream, it was real. My body was vibrating. It is crazy. I wish that I was sleeping with someone, but um it hasn't happened that many times, and but I feel like I can make it happen. It's just that I don't try. I don't try like I did the first time. Spec streaming tips on detaching. I think I should make a video specifically on that, on detachment. But I've made many videos where I would talk about detachment, but not like specifically on that. So I'll need to make a video on that. All right, guys. Yeah, we're about to end the live. I think, okay, now it's 2 hours 51 or 52 minutes. So exactly when it gets to 3 hours, we're gonna end the live. Please keep on liking. Thank you for the likes, because it's more than 100 likes. Which is actually a lot. Thank you all so much for that. So just keep on liking, so that this video, this message will find a lot of people. Miko, hello, sound advice. Good afternoon to you. Love your message. Thank you. Thank you. Spectrum Buddhism is right out. Pleasures consume us. Some sensations are insatiable. Um, yes, that is true. But I think uh Buddhists kind of like look at this reality as a positive experience. Am I wrong? because it's kind of like they're saying you are suffering because you are you're too attached. So start detaching yourself, and that is when you will be free. So I'm saying, as detaching ourselves is a sign. I mean, us having to detach ourselves is a sign that we are already in hell. Just like if you were in a toxic relationship, you need to detach yourself from your partner. That is a sign that they are toxic, because if you are in a good relationship, there's no need to detach yourself. You need to experience love because, well, they love you and you are having a positive experience with them. So it's not a good realm. That is why detachment is the answer. That's why you need to not take things too seriously, because the things that are happening really don't make sense. Star Solaris, greetings from New York, and it's my first time seeing you here. Hey, I try breathing practice, like slowly breathing in front, from the bottom of my root to the top of my head, and then hold breath and breathe. I'd slowly break down and taking as long as possible for each breath. No, that helps. That actually helps. I think breath work is like one of the most underrated forms of therapy. Like, it does help, to like breathe deeply. Like, whenever you want to do something that you feel like it's hard for you to do, try to breathe deeply. Your brain automatically focus on, you know the deep breath that you're taking, so you stop being anxious. So it really does help. It really does help, even like when you're stressing about something. Like focus on when you focus on like breath work, it really does help. Jennifer's dog rescue. I think by keeping us distracted and alone is the goal. When people get together in person, we are very strong. Yeah, 100%. When like-minded people get together, they become very, very powerful because they don't feel alone. You know. So you being told that you are wrong, you being told that there is something wrong with you, does actually make you weak. That does really make you feel powerless. That really does make you feel alone. I am Sophia. People don't like to think. True, but I think most people just can't think. That's the thing. Mm, I'm to fire. Great channel. You are one of the very few that have gotten their minds out of the majority of the matrix construct BS. Now you only need the process of exit. Nah, thanks, man. Cold case, you're right. I'm a loner for 20 years now. I avoid society at all costs. Yeah, I think you can get used to being alone actually. Like, you start to enjoy your own company because you realize that when you are with other people, you feel lonely, but when you're alone, like that's what's normal. Like that, because you're not judging yourself, right? Other people behave strangely, so they make you think you're too different, so they make you feel more alone. Sweet Leaf, you should collaborate with that MF. Yeah, definitely. But I would like to do that like in person, uh, not because we live in the same country, right? So not like I wouldn't want to do that live. I would literally like want us to be together and actually collaborate. So that will happen. Don't worry, guys. That will definitely happen. Uh, Most P from America, people are that ignorant. True, but I think like I think more like people are more ignorant in Africa, but no, I get you. Like people are ignorant everywhere, but it's worse in Africa. Trust me. Star Solaris. Some people don't want to wake up. They're afraid. Um. Yeah. Yeah. I think, but I think they It's not. That's not the only reason. It's not fear only that's stopping people from awakening. Um. I'm to fire. I'm one of the few that know the exact process of the matrix exit, but forces of the matrix have disjointed my soul consciousness, which is required to leave. You need to tell us like what do you know? Like what do you actually know? SOA, and we will certainly test you with some fear and hunger and shortage of wealth and lives and products that gives lead tithing to the patient ones. Quran. I have never actually read the Quran, but that's interesting. That's interesting. Or those who, when cal- calamity affects them, say to Allah we belong, and indeed to Him we are returning. Correct. It's interesting that we have too many religions, man. But you have to also understand that these books were written by people. All right, guys. Please, if you haven't liked um the live, please like the live. And yeah, we're ending the live. It's been 3 hours. I want to thank each and every person who have joined this live. Yeah, I think it was actually one of the best lives that we've ever done. All right, thank you all, guys.